Now, please welcome to the stage writer, comedian, and musician, Reggie Watts.
If you don't wanna see me, did a full 180, crazy, thinking about the way I was. Did the heartbreak change me? Maybe, but look at where I ended up. I'm all good already, so moved on, it's scary. I'm not where you left me at all. So, if you don't wanna see me.
Thank you. Thank you very much. My colleague just spoke of some of the conditions of our current reality and completely agree. There are over 50,000 people in the world currently, and that's too many. But we can do something different to change the way that we see and perceive who we are. Over the last 3 years, technologies and various design structures have increased at least 33%. Now, people were saying 43. Some people were even forecasting a very bold 29. But 33% seems to be the consensus at this point. Architecturally speaking, Dubai outpaces that of Kuala Lumpur by over 18.6%. These numbers are important because it is a gauge for the environmental regulation consolidatory body to come together finally again to some kind of a average agreeance. Now, we know many and we know few. When you put them all together, that's an amount that is equal to that specific niche within your life. Now, I'm not up here just to be here and spout off a bunch of numbers. I also can put letters together, and I can make those letters make sense in a language that's generally understood by most of you, and apply those in various spacings in an order that creates meaning. Now, people say to me all the time, "What's the future going to be like, man? Who are you? Where are you going? Hey, can I have some of that?" That's the age we live in. But, you know, as confusing as times are, I'm not trying to harsh anybody's mellow. I'm not trying to, crack your lava lamp. I'm not trying to drive your car at all. I don't believe in ghosts. I'm not as tall as I seem. I don't go for things as much as I used to. I'm nearly 78 now, and it makes me proud to be a part of the generation known as the relatively greatest generation ever. Generation Z, or for the Canadians, Generation Z. How is it gonna bookend? Well, I've designed a few strategic partnerships with the Montego Corporation, Crimson Tide, Borderlands 3 Foundation, the Division 2, Halo Infinite, and a couple other partners. So I want to show you some of this exciting technology we have. Nanotech is a big word. People don't use it enough. 3D printing, we hear that a lot as well. All of the objects here on this stage were 3D printed. They were made by organisms that exist in a 3D reality. So I think you're going to really enjoy what they came up with and how I interpret what their intention was. I'd like to start by introducing this. This is the Eon 3.6. The Eon 3.6 has an artificial intelligence algorithm that's running constantly at over 60,000 teraflops per nanosecond. How is this possible? This is the state of the art. This is the highest resolution reality interpretation machine you can get, and it's all been consolidated in a very small form factor that is very convenient and very pretty to look at. Now, this particular device is a cardioid microphone. This was developed by Innotech in 1933. They believed that fidelity was utmost in their approach to design. So they achieved this, but this has been the industry standard for over 17 years. Now, you ask, why is this connected to a cable? Many people ask me that. It's because you can't hear anything if this cable is not connected to this device. And I've tried, so I know. And so, yeah, so this special cable, it has an impedance converter. This kind of makes the line level match with the XLR input as well. Going out of this particular device, we're going into the tandem modular E5660. Tandem modular systems have been working on the ability to repeat and augment looped performances. So you're going to be hearing what this machine does, and this is great. And you're going to be hearing from Elon Musk. And Elon is a good friend of mine. I told him, I'm sorry to keep you from this for just a second, but he and I speak relatively often. And when he told me, like, what's next for cars? I said, well, we got to get rid of that steering wheel. And he was like, why? That's crazy. I'm like, because it's just too round. So I was just joking with him. And he decided to go for the yoke, and he fell for it. So, but the yoke is a higher, it's just a better design. What's better about it? It's that when you want to make a three-point turn, it's literally impossible to do. And the reason why I suggested this design is because we have to appreciate what we're missing. So by creating the yoke steering wheel, it's going to make us miss what we are used to every day. Round is profound. Yoke is a joke. But hey, sometimes you got to push it to cook it. And if you can't cook it, baste it. If you've got a broiler, try that. Okay. Okay, hopefully you guys can hear me now. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me as well? Can you hear me? Because this is only going out, this is using hypersonic sound, so it's only targeted towards maybe 6 people in the room. The rest of you should be hearing nothing. Anybody else can you hear this? Okay, so I guess it's not working, but it's fine. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to start by beginning, and we'll see where that takes us. So this is an example of proprietary software in the wrong hands. The thing about proprietary software is ownership is important, and having propriety is so cool. And people think, we should share everything. Everything should be open and available to all people, and I don't agree. I think that holding things up and creating bottlenecks is really important. The more we hold back and create artificial scarcity, the better. Because then people think, shit, and that's the state that we want to be in as humans. It's like, no one wants to live in a world where, all the resources are available, thus freeing us up to think about creative things. We want to live in a world that feels fragmented, and we want to feel adrenaline all the time. That's when we know that we're alive. So I agree with propriety. Here we go. This is it. I'm going to be using an instrument made in Sweden. The Swedes know how to do it. Lagom. Not too much, not too little. I like that philosophy.
Stop.
Come on, I want you. Want you know, call for so. Mina nana, shuku moro poco. Frana na se shonoha. Le fasha como covraba. Sitini, mono pampa. Stickidum to them da da da. Sita kanatako. Frina sa shishi. Somoko pama shishi. Shao shishini shishi. Fruits is a shao. So quite a big as it was.
Canada, I believe it was one of the first times that we were shown that jet propulsion can be used using ionic phasing. Ionic phasing is absolutely incredible. So we appreciate you. Thanksgiving is coming up, and it's also coming down. Shanice over there in the corner with her husband Glarvov is a wonderful friend of mine, and thank you for joining us, Shanice. Desbra Wilkinson in the back, lead programmer for AI Technotics, welcome. Also would like to welcome anybody from The Verge, because we're always there. We're always there. They're there. Always, like, ugh, you know, like, this next particular sonic format is created just for you in hopes that, you know, something might be different in the past until then. I'm going to check and see what we have preloaded. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, so this particular piece goes a little like this.
Die starfish are mutar vidi. La sarvehi. La la. Stilman hofft dich, das stimmt Arde. Die Sonne man gut dann mar wie schlaf. Chachadan, 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 dui, dui, middag. Wir stolpen diesen Reisen so ja. Wir hast stiesen brachen wie Stunden. La so no harim ni jito. She's a hoch, she's a soch, she's a soch.
Yo, yeah, yo, yeah, everybody tell you what.
Thank you. Thank you very much. In short, I do believe that there can be a future. Many people think that we are retroactive. Many people think that we are retroactively moving into the past, which is true. We are simultaneously moving into the past. I shouldn't try that. But we have a future that we're moving into. Consolidating hydrogen production, whether green or blue, is always an interesting mode and modality. Are we using fuel cells or are we using direct combustion of hydrogen? These are interesting questions, and I hope that they're answered in the next few years. Will Lilium work? Will we be able to create an eVTOL personal taxi network? Are we going to finally have I don't know, but that's a future I want to live in. You know? So, hopefully Japan is going to step up and make those cartoons a reality. Now, in closing, I want to thank everybody here at PopTech to really think about the future and what is important. My colleague before basically said humanity is, I think I'm paraphrasing, humanity is a bunch of organisms just trying to make it. And I believe in that. And I believe we can do better, than we already have. There's no reason we can't solve any problem because all the engineers in the world can solve any problem. It's not that we have a shortage of resources. It's just that we have a bunch of people going like, the resources are limited, and they're not. So engineering can really do a lot for our future. Start thinking like an engineer, because that is the only way we can survive. Thank you, PopTech.